Okay, I'm doing it! Anyway, hiya, and welcome to RC Misfits' inaugural video. There's a group of us. It's just, I'm the guinea pig that kind of just shoved in front of the camera for the first one. So, here I am. Anyway, this story starts back in summer 2023. We were off racing around the regionals in the West Midlands. And I was talking to Rob Fox. You might have heard of him. He's alright. Anyway, he was trying to talk me into doing a bit of the iconic buggies as well. And I was interested, but you know, it's extra parts and everything. It's already quite expensive to keep a couple of cars running for racing. And I was talking about this. He said, well, actually, you can run a modern buggy in some of them as long as it's got a rear motor. Which started me thinking a bit more, because PR Racing, which I usually run, they iterate between models, so a lot of the parts are carried over. I love breaking wishbones. Anyway, I looked at their back catalogue, and the V1 and the V2 were rear-motored. So I started thinking along the lines of, if I can get one of the earlier gearboxes, maybe I can just swap that on, maybe a bit of drilling on the chassis or whatever, but maybe make it so I can swap the gearbox over for doing iconic races. So I started looking at photos and it looked like it was doable. So then I started looking for a gearbox. Could I find one in the UK? I could not. Could I find one in America? Yes, I could. So I ordered one. And then a day later I got a notification that they don't ship abroad. So the order was cancelled. And then a couple of days later, I follow some of the PR Racing pages on Facebook. So teaser pics, coming soon. New rear-motored buggy, and it kind of piqued my interest. I started looking at it, and at first I was thinking it was pretty much a re-release of the V1 or the V2, whatever. But I was interested. Probably still have some of the parts cross compatibility. And then Evolution Models, they put up a pre-order. So I got really excited and 3 o'clock one morning kind of just pushed the pre-order button. It was a reasonable length pre-order. I think it took about 2 months. Anyway, during this 2 months, me and the guys, we were all talking. We thought, you know what? Maybe we should do a YouTube channel. Just a bit of fun. Maybe some people will watch us. Maybe some people with insomnia at 3 o'clock in the morning would have nothing better to do than watch us, is more to the point. So we decided to do this, and I was like, we got that PR Racing on pre-order. Not many people do PR Racing stuff. Maybe we could be, one of the first to get a build video done. So I started waiting with even more excitement. And then, like I said, about 2 months after I placed the first order, got an announcement. It's been dispatched. I was so excited. It's like, yes! No one's posted anything yet, we can do this. Then literally about 30 minutes later, alert from RC Kicks. Gavin had done a build video. Never done PR Racing before. The one buggy I ever do a pre-order on. I thought he just did Tamiya and a little bit of Kyoshu. Anyway, it came. It's here. We're going to build it. And we're going to see just how much cross-compatibility there is with the other buggies. So let's get on with it. So here we go with the build. Now, I paid for music for this video, so I'm not going to talk all the way through. I'll just pick up a few of the highlights. Yeah, off we go. Lovely machining on the chassis. I'm actually quite impressed by the machining on the chassis. The front end of the buggy is very exceedingly identical to the V3s and V4s, same bulkheads and so forth, same bell cranks. A couple of little differences. The Ackerman bar across the front is plastic instead of aluminium. Oh, I think they did some carbon fibre on the really early ones. Anyway, aluminium on the V4 and the V3. And for some reason in the instructions, it tells you to put the posts up the other way. Totally ignored it. Prefer it this way. So that's what we're going for. And the arms and everything seems to be identical. Same caster blocks for the front end. The one bit where it does vary from the V3 and the V4 is that the chassis itself has got an integrated kick-up, whereas on the V3, V4 there's a separate kick-up block that screws onto the chassis. But apart from that, pretty much identical. It supplies the later front bulkhead, which will take an anti-roll bar, and instead of having a plastic upright, it's got instead of having the carbon fibre upright, it's got a plastic upright. As you'll see, I'll slow some of these things down where, like here, I'm comparing the steering blocks. Appears to be identical. I could check the part numbers, couldn't I? That's far too difficult for me. I thought I'd just compare everything by eye. And quite nicely they supply the newer style axles that you get with the V4 over the older styles that you get with the V2s and V3s, where it's a separate hex. Slight difference with the carbon fibre steering plate as well, in that it misses out one of the settings that I never used so far anyway, so I care not. Altogether it looks like I can crash this thing with gay abandon and use the spares that I've already got, which is really good for me because I'm very good at breaking stuff. Everyone else says they don't like tanks. I just must be the clumsiest driver on earth. Anyway, off we go with it. Just comparing the plastic upright to the carbon fibre upright that you get with the V3, I think that one was off. Slight difference in the height of the shock mounts. Apart from that, everything seems very similar. So using the carbon fibre one would lower the tops a bit, give you a bit of extra ride height, which you adjust back down. But apart from that, looks like I can change that. I'm thinking that in a later video, that's exactly what I'll do. I'll just take all the V3 and V4 bits I think will fit on this and give it a full upgrade, as it were, and see what happens. But as you can see, the front end bolts together really easily and with no binder or anything. It's really quite nice. All together. Lovely free moving, no adjustment or trimming or firing or anything needed. Just straight together, lovely movement, no slop, straight out of the box. Awesome. I was quite surprised really when I took the rear arms out of the box. I thought that it would be the V3 arms and V3 hubs, but it looks like you get all the V4 stuff, which is really nice. A bit more adjustability on the rear hubs with pill inserts and so forth, and you can flip those little top mounts round to adjust the length of the camber bar, which in itself adjusts the roll centre, I believe. Yeah, I'm just learning here, but goes together like a dream. between the plastic arm mounts that come in the kit and some old V2, V3 brass aluminium ones I've got, just to see if I can use them to adjust the rear track. And once again, it seems like the V3 mounts would fit up on there, which is nice, because over collecting several second-hand ones, I've got a load of different towing blocks for 2.5, I think 3.5, 1.5. In a minute I'll stick them up in front of the camera. You can read, can't you? Look, 1.5. And, ooh, 3. This is just comparing the back end of the V3, the RM and the V4. I really do think the V4 blocks will fit, so I think I've got some of them spare around here as well, which means we can swap to them in a later video and see what that goes like. The V4s benefit from having the pillow inserts, so you can put a lot of different settings onto the rear end if you want to, as opposed to just being able to swap out the rear block to adjust tow, put spacers under the front one to adjust anti, you know, the other thing. Appears the same as on the V3s and V4s as well. The main difference here seems to be that the cross pins are nylon rather than aluminium. For the power of motor that I'd expect I would be putting through this, shouldn't cause any problems whatsoever, but nice to know I can put an upgrade in. And again, the gearbox internals seem to be exactly the same as the V3s, V4s, which means you've got a choice of that intermediate gear. You can either have a plastic alloy or steel one. So a bit of fiddling around that you can make in there as well. Again, comparing parts, so that is the carbon upright off a V3, which again appears like it should be able to swap to this, no problems at all. So, got some carbon fibre goodness in a bit, all free out of the spares bin, awesome. exciting part of any build. Building up turnbuckles. Gotta love it. Or be exceedingly bored by it. See, if I was nice, I'd edit some of this out of the video, wouldn't I? But nah. You can lament with me. Build those turnbuckles. So there we go. Back in all together. And again, same as the front end. Lovely plush movement. No sticks or anything. And not very much wobbling either. Really very nice, well put together kit. So onto the shocks, and they seem to be the same ones that you get on the old V3s and everything. So the same as in the 2020, 2023 models. Not 23 models. The 23 models, they put the lovely gold ones in, which they say are, you know, extra stiction-free coating and so forth. You know, the sort of stuff that at my competitive level of driving I really do notice. There may be sarcasm here. Either way, lovely, well-made shocks. Never had any problems with leaking or slopping. You know, apart from those times I didn't do something uptight and then the bottom end fell off the shock. We don't talk about that though. That's nothing to do with this video. I would never admit to that sort of stuff in public. I always put my shocks together perfectly, and they operate very smoothly throughout their range, and they never ever fall apart. Ever. Maybe they have 2 or 3 times. Yeah. Tend to build my shocks in a different order to what they say in the manual. In the manual you lube up the O-rings and the spacers and you shove them all into the bottom of the shock, and then you torque up the bottom seal ring and back it off a bit, and then carefully feed the threaded section of the shaft through. I don't like doing that bit. I'll build up the piston and shove it in without any O-rings in, and then grease up the O-rings and slide them over the thread section into the body of the shock. To me it feels like there's less chance of me damaging the O-rings. Make sure everything's seated and not pinched or anything, and I'm not pushing the threaded section through. I think one of the areas that might fall short is it's a bit trickier then to make sure that you get the same travel on each shock, but a bit of an adjustment with the caliper afterwards, it'll be fine. And then we're on to the fun of filling them up and bleeding them out. Same as any other motion shock. Shove the oil in and bleed them out, and yeah, get oil everywhere. Then make sure you've done everything else so the oil doesn't leak out. Shiny oil box. on the way through I generally ignore everything it says about the length of turnbuckles, because at the end I just check on this rig to adjust all the cambers and everything. I just feel like it's more professional that way. No, it's because it's the easiest thing to do. So, as you can tell by the additional facial hair, I haven't been very timely with this whole editing thing. The editing took me a while. The build, not so much. It was a very nice build, very pleasant. Went together very easily, like all the other PR racing kits. I suppose this is where I offer some of my own conclusions on the kit. Overall, I was very impressed by the build quality and the parts that are included. Fully ball raced. A lot of the parts are shared with its top of the line 2-wheel drive racing buggy. Arms, front bulkhead, rear arms and so forth. The uprates are a downgrade, as it were, not being carbon fibre and being plastic, but they seem like plenty stiff pieces of kit. And as you'll see in the video after this, which I might edit in the next 5 months, we took it on track and it went quite well. I really should leave things like that until the next video, shouldn't I? It hasn't been on track yet. We haven't taken it out. It's going to be a whole new surprise. But as you can see from the walkthrough, I was comparing some of the parts with items off the V4 and the V3 to see what was compatible and what could be upgraded from the kit. It's not the cheapest rear motor kit. There's the Geneva and other such things, but for the quality of the equipment that you get included in it, including the lovely machine chassis and the alloy body shocks, okay, it's not their top of the range, hey, we've pleated it in gold, extra slippy coating. It's the same as what they did in the 2020 and the 2022 kits, I believe. I think it's brilliant. Not much else to say about it. Apart from, am I happy with it? Yes. Would I buy it again? Yes. Am I going to race it in the summer? Hells yeah! I'm thinking that this will be pretty good at our local club in the off-road on the grass. So hopefully get plenty of footage from the summer. But got another video, like I said, coming up with the electrics going in, a bit of weighing and so forth, and a short little bit of track time on the carpet as well. So stick with us. And sometime before June, I'll get the editing done on that. Catch you in a bit.